In response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Western nations sent defensive weapons to Ukraine's armed forces in order to repel Russia's armored brigades.
Well, of course, that war is still continuing, but the action has not gone well with Russia, which possesses world's largest nuclear arsenal. And now a Russian think tank has suggested that Moscow is considering using demonstrative nuclear explosions to intimidate the West and make them stop sending weapons to Ukraine.
Dmitry Suslov, a member of the Moscow-based Council for Foreign and Defense Policy, made this proposal. However, it is also very interesting to note that Suslov's ideas sometimes become government policies.
The proposal was made a day after Russian President Vladimir Putin warned the West and NATO members in Europe to stop playing with fire by proposing to let Kiev use Western weapons to strike targets inside Russia, a move which could snowball into a global conflict, a direct conflict between Russia and NATO forces. Now, Ukraine's leadership asserts that in order to defend itself and prevent air, missile and drone attacks, it must be able to target Russian military targets and forces inside Russia with long-range Western missiles. A view which has received some backing from Western nations, although the US has not backed it, but not yet, of course, from Washington.
US President Joe Biden's administration has long resisted authorizing Ukraine to use US weapons inside Russia, as there are concerns that it could lead to a direct American confrontation with the nuclear-armed adversary. Well, Britain, France and Germany are among the European nations that have stated having no problem with Kiev firing Western missiles against Russian forces before they cross into Ukraine or at arms stored in Russian region.
The Secretary General of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, recently asked member nations to remove limitations on the use of their weapons in Russia, a comment widely speculated to be directed towards Biden administration.
Meanwhile, to intercept incoming threats, thousands of surveillance and potentially armed drones will be patrolling NATO's border with Russia and Belarus, under plans of creating a drone wall. Well, the president of Latvia told The Times that both sophisticated and off-the-shelf drones will monitor migration as well as any other possible provocations.
Ministers from the three Baltic states, Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia, as well as Finland, Norway and Poland, convened last week to talk about the wall plans. However, time and other specifics are still being worked out. There's less information out there at the moment. It will involve personnel operating drones in the skies from Norway to Poland, along with some kind of military infrastructure. That's all that's known at the moment.
Now, both Belarus and Russia have been accused of sending desperate people to the borders in order to sow discord and chaos within their own countries, and also with using migration as a weapon against NATO and European allies.